Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, January 15th. From the San Antonio Express News, my name is Luis Vasquez, and this is your Express Briefing. All of the stories you need to know to start your day. The forecast calls for sunny skies and highs in the mid to low 60s in San Antonio today. Rain chances return on Monday. President-elect Joe Biden unveiled a $1.9 trillion coronavirus plan last night to end a crisis of deep human suffering by speeding up vaccines and pumping out financial help to those struggling with the pandemic's prolonged economic fallout. One place vaccine rollout has been relatively speedy: Texas. The state is the first to administer more than 1 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine, Governor Greg Abbott announced Thursday. Meanwhile, San Antonio recorded another 19 deaths from COVID-19 Thursday. You can find more information over at expressnews.com. And now, let's move on to our top stories for the day. Two major San Antonio employers are rethinking their political spending after a mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol, leaving 5 dead, and a cadre of congressional Republicans sought to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Some of the city's largest companies, including Valero Energy, USAA, and New Star Energy, gave more than $1.2 million within the past 4 years to congressional Republicans who later rejected the Electoral College votes for President-elect Joe Biden and tried to deliver the election instead to President Donald Trump. But after the January 6th assault on the Capitol, a number of major U.S. companies have reevaluated their campaign donations, among them Valero and USAA. Joshua Fechter has more on how they're changing their approach over at expressnews.com. Fiesta San Antonio Commission President Balthazar Walter Serna says the board is closely watching the coronavirus projections and working with the city and county officials to find a way to keep the 10-day celebration going. The commission has hired Dr. Martin McCary, a Johns Hopkins health policy expert and a New York Times bestselling author. Serna says McCary will help organizers decide whether there is a safe way to host the celebration in April or whether it's feasible to push Fiesta events further out into 2021. Laura Garcia lays out what we know about the chances of avoiding a second straight Fiesta-less year. Over a nearly 50-year career as a cardiothoracic surgeon, J. Marvin Smith III earned a reputation as the go-to guy for complex heart surgeries in San Antonio. He has also held various prestigious posts, including Chief of Staff at Methodist Texan Hospital. Yet, Smith now alleges vindictive leaders at Methodist Healthcare System of San Antonio are ruining his career by waging a smear campaign against him. First by saying his patients had excessive or unacceptable mortality rates for certain surgeries, and then by asserting he has a medical condition that prevents him from safely practicing medicine. Methodist has totally blocked Smith's ability to practice cardiothoracic surgery, despite no evidence or findings that he poses any dangers to patients whatsoever, he said in a litigation unfolding in State District Court in San Antonio. Patrick Danner has more details in his latest article over at expressnews.com. A week ago, local activist group Fix SAPD submitted a petition to the city clerk's office. The petition included more than 20,000 signatures in support of the repeal of Chapter 174 of the Texas Local Government Code, which provides police officers with the power to engage in collective bargaining. If at least 20,000 signatures prove to be valid, San Antonio voters will be able to decide in May if they want to eliminate collective bargaining for police. Without question, many local progressives are celebrating Fix SAPD's petition achievement. But some local advocates of police reform are privately expressing concerns about the implications of a ballot initiative that could take away collective bargaining for the police. Gilbert Garcia explains more in his latest article over at expressnews.com. Head over to our website to check out our interactive map of San Antonio coronavirus testing sites that don't require a doctor's referral. Simply enter your address, select a circle to find out more about its location, including if it's appointment only or if it has drive-through testing. Next up are your need-to-know headlines. You can find all of these headlines and more inside of your Express News subscription. For the 14th day in a row, San Antonio health officials reported more than 1,000 new cases of COVID-19, a sign that the virus is still spreading rampantly throughout the community. Assistant City Manager Colleen Bridger said Thursday that health officials estimate there are nearly 18,000 active infections this week alone. For the past 2 weeks, San Antonio residents have scrambled for a chance to get one of the nation's approved COVID-19 vaccines. Thousands of appointments were filled within minutes, but public health workers say they fear those who aren't clamoring for the shot may need it the most. A group of mayors representing some of the nation's most populous cities, including San Antonio, Houston, and Austin, is asking President-elect Joe Biden to give them direct access to coronavirus vaccines. Former Bexar County District Attorney Nicholas LaHood is representing Raquel Rodriguez, who was charged with election tampering by the state attorney general's office. LaHood raised questions about her arrest on Thursday. An already scaled-down San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo has canceled its carnival for the upcoming event in response to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. The United States Army Criminal Investigation Command is offering a $25,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest in connection with the New Year's Day slaying of an Army drill sergeant in San Antonio. San Antonio financial institutions are making Paycheck Protection Plan loans once again. The Small Business Administration reintroduced the Paycheck Protection Program on Monday to offer low-interest forgivable loans to businesses pummeled by the pandemic. A renovated luxury hotel near San Antonio International Airport aims to recapture the panache that was once synonymous with its original name, La Mansión del Norte, more than 4 decades ago. Miguel Acosta Jr. forged his own identity in a legendary San Antonio family of luthiers, craftsmen who make stringed instruments. He was the go-to guy when a guitar needed fixing. The renowned guitar and instrument repairman died at home January 5th after a brief illness. He was 81. The San Antonio City Council unanimously reappointed attorney John Steen to the CPS Energy Board of Trustees on Thursday, despite a handful of citizens urging council to reconsider. People arrested by the San Antonio Police Department and booked into jail should not have to pay to retrieve their personal property after their release, the Express News editorial board writes. Read their latest commentary over at expressnews.com. Reducing accountability in response to COVID-19 is a bad idea, writes Bernie ISD board member David Spencer and Rich Senna. Read their full commentary, Star Test Crucial to Track COVID slide, over at expressnews.com. The coronavirus pandemic has forced organizers to scale down 2021 Dream Week. But San Antonio's community-curated celebration honoring the legacy of the late Martin Luther King Jr. will still feature numerous events throughout the city. It's all about getting to know each other more, founder Shakar Nakpodia said, and reveal the genius of community and celebrate how we can live peacefully together. Now in its 9th year of promoting civil discourse, the 10-day summit kicked off yesterday. The summit includes more than 100 events to be held via Zoom and in person. Vincent T. Davis has more in his latest article. The essential Mexican breakfast we know as huevos rancheros starts with the simplicity of eggs and salsa. Where it goes from there makes all the difference. Mike Sutter brings you 5 places in and around San Antonio doing huevos rancheros with style. San Antonio filmmaker Yakay Smith's 90-minute film, Dream: Rising Up for Justice, will serve as the virtual version of the 2021 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. commemorative march. San Antonio native Jared Padalecki's facial scrub in Walker may recall Chuck Norris, but he's quick to stress how little the CW reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger has in common with the original series. Highlighting the culmination of UIL high school football season is Saturday's highly anticipated Dodge Bowl. David Hinojosa has a preview of the last game of the 2020 season over at expressnews.com. And that's all for today. This was your Express Briefing for Friday, January 15th. My name is Luis Vasquez. please consider becoming an Express News subscriber to get in-depth coverage on all the stories you heard today. Also, be sure to rate and review this podcast inside of your Apple Podcast app, as it really helps the show. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.